I really wanted an appointment to the Transportation Committee because obviously transportation issues are incredibly important to Eastern Washington. We're a center as far as two Class 1 railroads, highways, all kinds of transportation facilities that are in the hub in the Spokane area. Also, my background, spent 7 years on the Transportation Commission. I'm past chair. It's a policy area I'm fairly familiar with. I actually knew many of the players already in the legislature that dealt in the transportation arena. I was fortunate in my first session to be allowed to serve as vice chair of the Transportation Committee. I think the reason for that confidence was the fact that my learning curve maybe wasn't as steep as a lot of folks coming in. It's given me an opportunity to work closely with Senator Haugen as the chair of the committee, and she's asked me to focus on specific areas. For instance, freight rail is one area. Areas, for instance, one initiative we're undertaking right now has to do with surplus properties that DOT has that have the potential to free up 20, 30, maybe more $1 million in terms of use in additional transportation projects. I work often very closely with the chair in policy areas that require maybe a deeper dive than we can do at a committee meeting, and usually working with Republicans and sometimes representatives from the other chamber in order to come up with a solution that works for everybody.
And you have your own transportation priorities for your district, for Eastern Washington. How does being vice chairman of the committee, what does that do for those priorities?
Well, I'd like to tell you that it moves my projects to the top of the list, but the truth is that we have some important projects that allows me to align my priorities with the priorities of the committee and Senate leadership. So I guess in that sense, it's a real opportunity to position in the best light investments in the transportation system in Eastern Washington.